Hey all, and welcome back to Pokémon Sword. Over the next few days, we're going to be covering the post-game story. And, there's not really much to it, although it does answer a lingering plot thread, or tie it up as it were, as to who the hell were the two heroes exactly in the lore, the mythos. That question wasn't really answered during the course of the main campaign, so thankfully we get a little bit more, behind-the-scenes stuff. And you're just given a Master Ball. It's just here. Why not?
Well, I mean, exactly. Why not? I mean, to be fair, at this point, it's been a gift more times than you've had to find it, so...
Yeah, true.
Just give it us, because then at least you can focus on using it where you need to, i.e., when you go to catch the legendary Pokemon, which you haven't managed to catch yet because it's not been available to you.
Nope.
So, at least they give you a perfectly good opportunity to use it.
Now that I look at these shoes, Flame, I think you may have had a point. Before we go to the Isle of Armor, I'm going to make sure I'm kitted out and whatnot.
Thank you. It just does not match at all, and it doesn't even match in that whole subversive kind of thing that some people do. It's just no.
Well, it matches the bag, but it doesn't match the kind of. Matches the bag and the leather pants, but it doesn't match the t-shirt and the hat.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but going back to the legendaries, it is kind of interesting the fact that in this game, the legendary that you get in the story is a guaranteed instant catch because it's using the raid mechanic and that, and then they give you a Master Ball for the other one, and there are only 2 catchable legendaries in the game.
Yeah.
So it's they want to make sure you have absolutely no chance of missing these.
Anyway, here's Pokey Satan. We're going to be taking him with us, and since he's a dragon, I figured, Drago, you've earned a little bit of a holiday and whatnot. You took one for the team against Charizard, you took that L, and enabled our victory, so come on, get in the box.
This Eternatus here is a little bit maybe dancing on the line of OP, let's be honest here, so...
Yeah, well, it has a move that, does double damage against Dynamaxed foes, so take him with you to a raid, have fun.
Yeah, basically.
Speaking of, actually, I actually went out and caught a few of the Gigantamaxes that are making the rounds, like Toxtricity. There'll be a new Surge 2, come the Isle of Armor and so on. What else did I get? Oh, I think I got a Lantern at one point. I almost got a Grimmsnarl Gigantamax, but that fucker got out of the ball at one shake, and I was fuming, I tell you what.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, especially given the raid battles, you only get one shot before you have to go and hunt down another one and hope you get lucky then. It is a little bit bullshit if they do break out, I will say. And that's kind of what put me off going hunting after the Gigantamaxes and whatnot. Because, I did get into a battle with one of these Snorlaxes when that was going on. And I whittled it down, I beat it through the ball, didn't get it, and it was I can't really be bothered to go and find another one.
Oh yeah, I think I tried my hand again, Gigantamax Snorlax. Didn't get it. I did, however, get a Gigantamax Kingler, the big boy himself, the crab lad.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually seen what Gigantamax Kingler looks like.
Really?
No, I must have missed him. Let me go look this up, because I'm
curious. It's a big-ass spider crab with a huge bubbly beard.
Yeah, that is a thing.
Okay, I love him.
I'm not sure about the bubbly beard, but everything else about that, hell yes, that's awesome.
No, the beard is fantastic. Look at that. And there's a picture here of the shiny form as well. That's the orange bit's green, and that looks cool as well. It's a wise old crab. Maybe I'm just easily amused, but, give a Pokemon a beard and I'm happy. That's probably why I like the Meowth so much.
Well, aesthetics have got to match up and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm finally seeing representation in video games.
Oh, finally. Putting Flame in the game. Bless up. So yeah, just in case you missed it at the end of the previous part, there was a tiny stinger which basically focused on the shrine area of the Slumbering Weald, and that's where we're going back to right now.
Yeah, because that's gonna basically be a kind of hub for this post-game part, like in a bookending sort of sense. So we'll see quite a fair bit more of this area, which I'm happy with because it means we get more of that awesome music.
Oh, definitely. It also means that, I suppose, because, we're dealing with mystical legendariness, there's something that got sort of revealed today via, leaks and magazines.
Oh yeah, that monkey-looking thing. I think it's going to be released alongside the new movie, just like Zeraora was with like the previous one or whatever.
Yeah, agreed. I have to say, looking at it, my brain just goes, that basically just looks like a Digimon.
Well, what I'm seeing fucking Dr. Wily hair.
Oh god. So basically, it's a monkey with Dr. Wily's head on it. That is terrifying.
Yeah, we don't have like any official information right now, nor a name and so on. And
no, we just have a silhouette.
well, we'll get back to that down the line. Maybe by the time the expansions come out, we'll have a full image of what the Pokemons looks like. Hop is still in our shadow. Maybe, just maybe, by the end of this post-game story, he'll have come into his own.
Maybe if he moves over a little bit into a light source, then he won't be in our shadow.
Maybe. Why? Why would you stoop to me? You cannot fathom the power I have.
I haven't seen the white response, but just imagining it like that, it's like, do you really want me to beat you again? Have you not been embarrassed enough?
Yeah, well, yeah, you're a glove for punishment, I suppose. Let's do this shit.
Yeah, also, he seems to forget that, we've got that massive giant legendary dragon thing that nearly destroyed the world. So, yeah, mate, you're not going to stand a chance.
Really, that was his doing. He could have easily have thrown a Pokeball, where he gave us the shot at it for some reason.
Timing of this is like you're talking about, we've got the giant legendary Pokemon. Go on, Double, you've got this.
Yeah. Well, he sent him out against the fucker, so...
Yeah, true. This is very much a case of, Double might be kind of useless, but the mother loves it.
Oh, yeah. There was a fake mon going around about the time all the leaks were happening and whatnot, and it showed Wooloo's evolution to be like a bipedal sort of sheep herder sort of Pokemon. I think I might have preferred that, over what Double turned out to be.
Yeah, I would have ended up catching that and nicknaming it Vincent, though.
Yeah.
Go on, Hop, you're doing your same old tricks.
So, there were a couple of sort of fake Mon versions, but yeah, so one of them, somebody designed a male and female evolution variant, so the female variant turned into like a shepherdess, and the male one turned into a sort of devil sheep thing. Then there was somebody else who did like a ghost type, like if it evolved into a wolf, so like wolf in sheep's clothing.
That's actually kind of clever, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that would have been quite a cool evolutionary chain. And then another one basically turned it into some sort of ram. Well, I mean, that was sort of the same thing, but going a bit more full-on goat / sort of turning a little bit giraffe-y, but yeah, things are weird.
People like Willow. Willow seems to be the one who got all the fan designs going around.
Literally, yes.
It's literally just a sheep. What do you want from it?
It is more basic bitch sheep than even fucking the Marik line, which in themselves are basic bitch sheep, at least to start with.
Yeah.
Although I did get much more use from Ampharos back when we were using Colosseum than I ever did using Wooloo and Double in this game, so...
Yeah, well that's because Ampharos is awesome.
Have you beat him again yet? No.
Oh, we're getting there, for fuck's sake.
We're just going through the motions now. Oh, come on, you're sending out Rillaboom, we're gonna send out our fire type. Come on, Hop, you know how this plays out.
I'm gonna do an overhead scissor kick or whatever, and bada bing, he's going down.
Overhead scissor kick, it's a normal kicking your foot forward, but use your imagination, guys.
Yeah, well, you say going through the motions, that could honestly describe the story of Sword and Shield in a nutshell, really, and the post-game doubly so. Like, it's fine, it's whatever. You know, I'm not really, like, want to judge basic stories. They're basic stories, who gives a shit at the end of the day? If it does it bad, then I'll criticise, and this doesn't do it bad, it's just there. It's a bunch of raids, and that's about it.
Can't have a bad story if there is no story.
Well, yeah. Like, I'd say the main thing about Sword and Shield's post-game, or what little there is of it, is that it is at worst inoffensive. Like, it's there, it doesn't really do anything special, but it doesn't do anything particularly awful. And you kind of just go, at the end of the day, I don't hate it because there's not really much there to hate. Yeah, which is maybe a little bit disappointing, but like, come on, it could have been a lot worse, as well as it could have been a lot better.
Yeah, this little post-game side quest that we're showing off, this I would say is probably about on par with a Looker quest. It's got that sort of...
Yeah.
Like, there's a little quest here, there's a little mini storyline to follow, but it's kind of insubstantial, all things considered.
There is other stuff besides this, like you can go to the new Battle Tower, which was Rose Tower. Leon is running that thing now. There's actually a music track for the battles composed by Toby Fox of Undertale fame. It's one of the better ones, and I think it was once part of something for an MPreg game, so have fun with that.
Yeah, that was one of his shitpost pieces from what I recall. Yeah, but like, there's the Battle Tower, as I mentioned. There's also a few rematches you can do, like with Marnie. If you go back to Spikemuth, you can rematch her. That's the one that comes to mind. There's also the Super Boss against Morimoto, which you can do in the Suggestor Hotel, which is a double battle, so you might want to come prepared for that. What else is there? I think there's some other bits and pieces. Obviously, like, you can go back to the Weald area and there's new encounters that you can get before. And as far as I recall, all the Pokemon in the Weald area, once you've hit the post-game, are at least level 60.
Yeah.
So if you need to grind up some of your other Pokemon, that's a good spot to do it now.
I believe, like, the minimum watts you can get from, like, a den is, like, 2,000 a pop as well.
Yeah, so, like, if you want to stock up on Quick Balls, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, shouldn't you be off assisting the professor, doing your assistant-y thing?
Yeah, I'm just casually forgetting that we got a promotion here.
Professor Sonia! Thought you were already the professor.
Yeah, that happened quite a little while ago. I don't think Hop was there, though, so maybe he didn't know.
No, it's like, here's my coach, granddaughter. Oh, am I still your assistant? What's going on here?
No, that is like the Pokemon professor equivalent of like a diploma or something. That's a qualification there.
So speaking of professors, actually, they did a really mint promo for Pokemon Masters recently, where it's basically a live-action thing. You never see the dude's face, the actor's face, but it's Professor Oak being like, Pokemon studying is really cool, but I'm in the mood for some battling like the old days, and he throws his coat on and walks out the door. And I'm like, fuck yes, Oak has come to play.
Yes, which is amazing, and yeah, Flame's mentioning it now.
Yeah, and also there is a new relative of Oak that we've found in Pokemon Home, Grand Oak, who essentially, he's Professor Oak, who's let his hair grow out, and he's stolen a Team Flare admin's glasses. That's pretty much his Grand Oak's design.
Is it his dad, or...?
He must be like 100 years old.
So, let's see. Is there something that Bulbapedia can provide us with on this? I doubt it, because he's not existed for very long.
No.
And the answer is, of course, it can't provide us with anything.
Well, what I just said is the full extent of his character. Let's be real here.
So, basically, we know nothing about Grand Oak whatsoever, other than the fact that his name is Grand Oak or Big Professor Oak or Big Oak or whatever.
The cooler Professor Oak.
Oh god.
So yeah, we had a mission, and now that mission is done. So we put these things back, or it implies that we put them back. You couldn't have made a... Stop it, Tom, stop it. This tiny indie company can't do precious animations.
This was very much a case of put that thing back where it came from, also help me.
Alright, Richie, you need to kind of... you're at 2%, I'm going to need you at 10% for the rest of this recording session, please.
Well, I mean, just to sort of raise the bar, we've got our villains
Oh,
for
fuck.
the for the piece, and oh boy, those hairs are a choice,
Look at the top of their fucking heads.
and it's got jiggle physics.
You know what, can we go back to 2% Richie reading off Bulbapedia, please?
Oh. Yes, we gave it 1 star. We shitpost online.
It's the fucking sword guy who gets me, just the way his head's just flopping about all over the place.
So, yeah, Sword Ward and Shieldbert. Shieldbert's not too bad. The motherfucker on the left is too much. Yeah, they're the descendants of the first kings. You were wondering where that plot thread was? Here it is, dangling in front of your very eyes.
Yeah.
I take back what I was saying about the story. They don't have to explain all this stuff, I'm okay.
To be fair, I do agree on that one. Like, I didn't really care who the original heroes were. It wasn't really anything that felt like it was needed to be looked into. It's the sort of slightly the same as AZ. In was that X and Y?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of a thing. It was just like, it's been 3,000 years. But yeah, these guys they're a choice.
That's one way to put them, yeah. Like, please, that fucking sword guy, please just, like, gel your hair or something so it's not, like, looking so limp and flaccid right there.
It's flopping all over the place. Alright, yeah, I guess we're going to settle this with a Pokemon battle. Good luck, Hop.
This is a voting exclusive thing. You fight the opposite one in Shield, and that kind of becomes a continuing trend over the course of this side quest. So it's just a little something to differentiate them. They do have slightly different teams as well. No, we're gonna get Surfetched here, which is perfectly fitting for him, let's be real.
Oh, you didn't heal me. That's nice, I guess.
Yeah, that is helpful.
Are we gonna need it though? Come on.
Well, let's hope he doesn't bust out his signature move. Oh, he's busting out his signature move.
Ow.
Yikes.
Oof. Well, something to point out is that so both Swordwood and Shieldbert in this battle both have a Surfetched, with the only real difference being that Shieldbert's has Iron Defense, Swordwood's has Sword Stance, because of course. And then their Pokemon are obviously sort of either more predicated towards attack or defense. So Swordwood has Blissipod, Doublade, and Bisharp. Shieldbert has Bronzong, Phalanx, and Clink Clang. And that will basically obviously continue throughout the rest of our run-ins with them. The teams don't actually change at all. So we get the same battle basically a few times on the trot.
Lovely. That's exactly what I want out of a post-game for Pokemon. Do not challenge me. I dare you to not challenge me.
Yeah, but like if you compare this to some of the other post-game quests we've had, like I think even like the Looker quest in X and Y, like yeah, it was a bit samey in that, but like Essentia's different forms had different teams that she had acquired and whatnot. So this is literally just that extra step of like, yeah, same shit, different day.
I gotta say, ever since Pokemon, the mainline games, went 3D, it's just the same shit in the post-game. You get like a 2-hour story, and then that's it. Fuck off until the next game. Where is the battle frontier? Where's it even going to another different region? I would accept a scaled-down version of Kalos, like we got a scaled-down version of Kanto back in Gen 2. It just feels like... there's not a lot of effort being put into here. And, you know, Game Freak does get a lot of shit for not putting in effort in certain areas, and some of that I can attribute to the Pokemon Company, rushing them and whatnot. But
Yeah.
there's a concerted choice to have the post-game structured in such a way, and it does feel like it's just going through the motions, like we said earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose part of that is because, in a way, they've sort of backed themselves into a corner in that there is that expectation that there will be a post-game of some description, also enough faffing about, yes! But, so there's that expectation that there'll be a post-game, and as we've sort of progressed through it further and further, and, you know, the hardware has gotten more and more complicated to develop for, they're kind of in that between a rock and a hard place of probably they just want to sort of not necessarily do the post game so much and just sort of allow you to focus on catching Pokemon and so on and so forth. But obviously, because there's the expectation there that there will be one, they feel that they have to put something in, so they put as much effort as they feel they need to in to sort of get by, and then funnel the rest of the money into the main story because that's where it's probably going to be more important.
I'd like to raise a point that I didn't see much of that during the main game, and I think, like, they're expecting the wild area to suffice with, you know, DLC raids and such, which is nice, don't get me wrong, but I crave stuff like the Isle of Armor, like the Crown Tundra. That's the kind of stuff I want in a post-game.
Oh, agreed. Like, I'm not saying that it's the right thing, I'm just saying that that's potentially what has occurred, and it's not great. Really, I think they need to go with either, like, if they don't want to do a post game, just don't do a post game. Put the effort in where you want it to, and then do things like DLC if you want to sort of create some sort of post game story, because that is the way that sort of video games are going now. And as long as, you know, the actual main story is complete and we're not paying for the ending, that is probably sort of going to be a more effective use of time and money.
Well, what stands out to me with this particular post-game compared to, like, say, the X and Y one, the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Delta episode and Sun and Moon stuff and whatnot, is that there's really nothing substantial to supplement this. Because if you remember, pretty much all of the other 3D Pokemon post-game quests we've had, there's been the quest, but then there's also been stuff like post-game legendaries, and a lot of those would have their own dungeon that you would go through, or that you would go and look around for them, or try to meet certain requirements and that. Whereas, so like, there's not necessarily plot or story or anything overly complex to develop there, but there's still something for you to do that it feels like you're investing more time in something you want to do to find this extra legendary or whatever it may be. Whereas here, like, I listed off all the stuff earlier, you know, like you fight Morimoto, you refight Marnie, stuff like that. That's basically it, really. And so rather than getting, say, a 2-hour post-game quest with a few other things dotted around, we've just got a 2-hour post-game quest, then no reason to touch the game again unless you're looking for, like, filling the decks up and shit like that, which not everyone is going to be interested in doing because it's kind of a big task. God, this town looks so pretty at night. I feel like this is the first time we've seen it in the actual playthrough, because during the main story, the day-night system is plot relegated, but once you come back here in the post-game, then you can start seeing it tied into the switch clock. So I assume Tom was doing my sort of process of being up late at night recording for this.
I started recording about, I want to say, 8 or 9 in the evening and finished about 11. It was literally a couple of hours.
See, my thing is I've ended up having to set my fucking 3DS clock 12 hours ahead so that my whole playthroughs don't end up being at night.
Well, there's a certain charm to that, I suppose.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, I feel like it had become a bit obvious after a while that Sonya's brought in help by the look of it.
Well, it's a good job she doesn't have a name, because it's not going to turn up in those little things anyway. They still haven't fixed that.
That is bad.
Even now that, like, Home's out and whatnot, and, like, that it does ask you to have the most recent version of the games to be able to import your Pokemon into it. Like, no, they still haven't fixed the little name tags.
I mean, I suppose maybe they'll try and fix it before the DLC.
Tiny indie company.
You don't know how many people they'd have to employ to put a little tag with someone's name on it.
Like, Masuda has to come in and he has to, by hand, make these things and scan them into the game. There's a lot of characters to do it for.
Yeah, I think that is sort of the one major thing that really it kind of like shoots Game Freak and the Pokemon Company down. It's like, yeah, they've got the money. Stop being greedy.
If you spend money, then you don't stay rich, do you?
Exactly, it is how the rich stay rich after all.
The only rich that stays rich no matter what is rich here.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong on that one, but
Let's just call them weirdos. Let us delegate them as weirdos. Freaks, even.
That's a lot nicer than what I would have went with.
Me tweeting whenever Game Freak does something terrible. .gif.
No, that's you tweeting when someone says something mean about a cartoon. I can imagine you having that fucking rage movement.
God damn it, Flame, you beat me to it, although I would have just gone out and said, whenever somebody said something mean about Steven Universe.
You're not too far off the mark, really. But really, if someone has an opinion, I've said this before, but if someone has a negative opinion about it, that I don't really give a shit about. It's misinformation being spread about, like, plot or characters that gets my go.
Yeah, but the thing is that you flip out about that so much, it just incentivizes people doing it.
Hang on, flip out? Posting a comment is not flipping out, Flame.
Posting a comment isn't, but posting comment every day.
Didn't do it today.
Starts becoming something a bit different.
Didn't do it today, fucker, so F off.
There's still a few hours left, and you know it.
There's still time today. I can make it. So, yeah, there's power spots going wild all over, so let's go over there and we're just going to have a raid battle or two, and that's roughly about it. Man, I'm being a negative Nancy in this particular thing. Someone must have shitposted about my favourite cartoon.
Is that why you haven't tweeted? You've just been holding it in and now you're taking it out on the
I am
poor
going to
indie
explode like an atom bomb after this.
Oh god, well, just leave that Crawdon alone, it's not his fault.
I wouldn't live anywhere near where these scourges of Satan in the water live, honestly.
I like Crawdon. It's a cool Pokemon.
Would you like to see one crawling through your bedroom window in the dead of night?
Sure, he doesn't look too evil. He might be dark type, but, you know, he seems nice.
Dark type is evil in Japan.
Yeah, I know, but let's just say this is an English Crawdon.
I don't know if that's better or worse, honestly. Oh, it's Piers, the bro. He's here.
Well, I mean, he's basically retired now, isn't he? So he can just wander around where all the fuck he feels like.
Yeah, and there's no, like, shows on right now, so...
Yeah, it's like, he couldn't get tickets for the MCR tour, so now he's just got to mope around instead.
You know, when you think about it, the lyrics to Black Parade, and this isn't my joke, but what kind of father asks his son those questions and whatnot? I was like, Dad, I'm trying to enjoy a parade, do you mind?
Yeah.
I feel like I saw someone think they were very, very intelligent tweeting that like 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, it's evergreen content, mate, it's evergreen content.
I mean, that's pretty much the same of all of those songs from the bands that sort of fit into the emo category. But I have to say, they are all still pretty damn good songs. So. They are.
Also, don't try and make sense of Dragon Force lyrics. You'll be here all evening.
Basically. How do you lose sight of people with those hairstyles?
Yeah.
Like, could you not see that sword flopping about in the wind?
Yeah. Yeah, like, that hair probably stands up higher than most tall people. So, like, it's... And also, like, these places are not that busy.
Yeah, I know, like, there's a crowd of people in the stadium, but they're just generic, like, anime background characters who jump around a little bit. They're not really doing much.
Sorry, I just had to go and look up some Dragon Force lyrics here. This is an example of how they write stuff. This is for Dawn Over a New World, by the way. In the darkness of the night, in the shadows of the dawn, it's turning black, no looking back, the sands of time are sown. When the day will slowly end and the sun has turned to grey, will we feel the power of freedom with the dawn of a new day? Will you fuck off and get some actual song lyricists in there, please?
Well, that kind of, it fits what they're going for, of just get a load of things that sound cool and roll with it. That's pretty much Dragon Force's entire style, like, from instrumentation down to lyrics.
I like Dragon Force, but they may as well have just, like, sung "I'm epic" for, like, 3 minutes at a time.
Across the, like, 20 different takes and stitch them together, because I know how Dragon Force work.
Yeah, can't play their own songs at their concerts, I've seen the recordings.
To be fair, they've got better since then. Like, there are some, like, quite questionable live performances, but they have got better.
Nice. Okay, let's stop this dominatrix mon from stepping on everyone, I guess. Some people would like that. Maybe this is the end Hop needs.
Yeah, it's fine, you don't have to stop it. Everyone went quiet. I'm scared I said something too much.
I mean, that was relatively tame for you, Flame, but still, you know, we wanted to just do that whole silent thing to make you feel like you'd done something wrong.
Oh, sorry, I'm keeping an eye on the Sonic movie's Rotten Tomatoes score right now.
I mean, maybe a little bit obsessive.
Yeah, you were saying earlier that Richie needs to give more than 2%, and you're not even watching the fucking video, you're just checking fucking Sonic movie review scores. You made me use the word movie, that's how bad you're making me.
Richie can't help but fucking talk over everyone like a chattering Charlie. I'm doing something while Pokemon battling is going on, alright? Leave me alone.
Well, no, because we know the Sonic film is going to be terrible because he did a Fortnite dance and that's ruined it, right?
Oh yeah, true.
Like, Sonic doing Fortnite dances is perfectly in character. I'm going to just go out on a limb there and say that.
Yeah, you are indeed correct. I have to say, so my plan is that I'm probably going to try and see it tomorrow as of when we're recording this, so I'm going to be one of those losers going to see the Sonic movie on Valentine's Day by myself, because I am that loser. So I'll be tweeting my thoughts about that once it's done, but like, my expectation is that it's going to be okay.
Yeah, just okay.
I'm not expecting the most amazing film ever, and from what I can gather, it's not going to be the worst film ever. It's just going to be sort of a bit of inoffensive fun. If it's sort of as good as Detective Pikachu, I'll be happy. If it's not as good, then I'll survive. I'll just sort of see. I think, once again, it's one of those things with films and games and anything of when you want to know whether you should go and see it or not. If you sort of want other people's opinions, you just need to go for the people who you have similar tastes to, whether they be critic, a fan of the thing, or sort of your friends. Like, as long as you know what your tastes are and what their tastes are, then you can kind of generally get a good vibe as to whether or not it's something you're going to enjoy or not, and that's sort of what you should base it on.
Well, see, the thing is with us, like, let's be honest, we were all going to watch it no matter what. Like, granted, in your case, you're going to see it, whereas I'm definitely going to end up pirating a Blu-ray rip in a few months' time, because that's how I am. But, like, yeah, it's Sonic, so I'm not going to just let it pass me.
Well, I'm going to go with my mum. Like, we both love Sonic going way back, so, you know, might as well just have a nice trip out, get some nice seats, have a drink, and watch Sonic shitpost for an hour and 40 minutes.
Exactly!
Fair one. Like, admittedly, I don't think I've been to the pictures in, like, well over a decade now, but that's just me.
Well, I mean, it's because it's ridiculously expensive.
It's also because it's outside.
Yep, that too.
Also, there are, like, I don't think I've been... Well, there's very few cinema trips that I've been to where there's not been somebody being an insufferable asshole.
Well, that's dealing with the public in general.
Were you sitting behind Swordward by any chance, Rich?
Thankfully, no. But I think if he were sitting in front of me, then I would be desperately trying to find a pair of scissors.
Yeah, just cut it off, see how long till he notices. No, that is unless he's enjoying the film, because that goes solid when he's enjoying it, you know?
Haha, Sonic did the flossing dance, brother. Yes, we enjoyed this very much.
Also, after our splendid-looking bottoms, more like celebrity bottoms, these guys they're just weird. Like, they call them weirdos, and it's so apt a description of them.
Yeah, I don't know what they were going for with this, like, characterization, but whatever, they're out of the screen now and out of mind.
Don't worry, they'll be back to ruin your day tomorrow.
I mean, part of me, there's certain things that they say, and part of me kind of thought, Game Freak, are you trying to be funny and slightly take the piss out of some of the harder core Pokemon fans who were maybe a little bit not so complimentary about Sword and Shield before it came out, because some of it did feel a little bit like going, yeah, you tried to be a dick, yeah, here's the middle finger to that, you blighters.
Well, I can see a flaw in that plan, in that games take years to make, for the most part, and you can't really add such a thing in as, you know, events transpire.
Agreed, however, you're forgetting that this is the post-game, which doesn't look it had a huge amount of effort put into it, so it could have been done sort of like in the last year and a bit of development, at which point there was a lot of vitriol going on around that time, so like they could have just put it in as a little sly middle finger.
Yeah. How did you fall for that exactly, Sonia? Like, there's no debris behind me, there's no people running, screaming, whatever. You're a new professor, I'm gonna let that slide.
Well, given how everything else in this world just sort of happens, like, they had a fucking Dynamax Pokemon stomping everything down, and there wasn't even the slightest bit of damage, so, like, she's just used to the fact that, like, these Pokemon can cause all kinds of problems and all kinds of shit can happen without any evidence of it.
Yeah. Also, that is a face.
It is.
Pierce desperately needs a nap, Christ.
Do you know how long it takes me to style this hair? Let me tell you, I don't get much sleep.
Yes, these are basically the same things. Thank you for giving us this choice.
Yes. I'm glad someone appreciates me being champion and whatnot. Like the nurse joy at the centre says, "Hey champ, what are you doing up so late at night? Why haven't you called your mother in so long? What's going on with those shoes?"
It's a shame there isn't a NPC who acknowledges your terrible fashion choice and just calls you out on it.
Well, that would require having certain, like, you know, states where it's like, C, shoe X, get result Y, and so on. And again, tiny indie company.
This joke stopped being funny like 20 parts ago, but still.
It's the fucking post-game. What do you want from me? The story's done, we're going around and doing raids, and that's it.
Well, what you're saying is literally just a fucking variable, which is very easy to set up, but you know.
Well, that's how most Let's Plays work, mate. You find one joke and you twist it.
Yeah, I know, but...
Hey!
I've got nothing, you've got a point. You finally got the earbuds.
Now you can use the volume controls if you want.
Let's turn everything up. I'm nostalgic for SA2 now.
Let's have everything on except the music.
Oh, I mean, I have to say, one of the things that I did do with the earbuds is I did turn down the sound effects a little bit, just because that boom, 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 whenever you were sort of walking into things just got really annoying.
Yes, like that has caused me so many fucking resets in my Pokemon playthroughs in the past because it just fucks with me so much.
Well, that gives you a little bit of an insight into Flame as a person, I think.
Just say I'm neurotic, it's fine, everyone knows.
No, I don't want to be that guy, especially when Kabu is here, and Kabu is the man.
Although he still can't get a handle on the giant Pokemon in his gym.
No, well, you know, he's a fire-type user, it's gonna happen.
What's that got to mean about anything? Fire-type users can be competent.
I like fire-types, but there's a reason he's not in, like, the top percentage of gym leaders in Galar, alright? He's a starter type.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Blaine in Gen 1 was the 7th gym.
True, but he was also piss easy.
Well, yeah, but that's just what happens when you use monotypes. That's why all gym leaders are piss easy.
Oh, that's a big ass. Sorry, I was looking at the low frame rate of his cloud over there.
Yeah, it's a little bit obvious, but we've got Excadrill, so this guy stands no chance.
This could go either way, given he's part steel type, but let's see if we can get some high horsepower in there. Or no, drill run, there we go.
Just use fucking Earthquake!
Well, in its max form, that would have attacked everyone else, but maybe I will, Flame. Maybe I will when it becomes something else.
Yeah, well, who cares? Like, you're gonna fucking win whatever.
That's a good point. And, it's not operating on regular raid rules, where if you lose, like, 4 Pokemon, like, you get blown out of the den for some reason.
Yeah, that is just an arbitrary, like, challenge that doesn't really have any purpose.
Got him. I am amazed that they did not put in the actual raid thing of, oh, it's getting desperate, it put up shields and whatnot. I feel like they should have, like, for added challenge and whatnot, because this is just basic bitch Dynamax Pokemon encounters.
Yeah, but then the whole shield thing does get really fucking annoying after a while.
I mean, what probably gets a little bit more annoying is that the rest of our allies are pretty goddamn useless. So we've got to do all the goddamn work.
God damn. Come on, finish this guy off already.
Shablamzo.
Perfection.
We don't even get to catch them. Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, because they just sort of loiter around at the gym after you're done, which is kind of a shame. Like, I guess it would be just giving you this set of Pokemon, but like, you should get a chance to catch them.
Well, maybe I'll haggle with Kabu after the part is done. I would like to buy your Torkoal, please.
It's not like he's gonna use it, he's got a complete team already.
Yeah, that's true. And we do know gym leaders tend to have rotating teams, depending on, like, what level you arrive at the gym at. See that one Pokemon miniseries. Anywho, guys, the postgame will continue tomorrow, so I'll see you then for more of the same. Goodbye for now.